If you're watching this video, then like me, you're probably injured. So stay with me and I'll take you through some ideas and some steps that we can take to help us get through this injury.
Don't panic! Don't panic! Right, don't panic, you're all right.
If this injury's just happened, the first thing to do is just relax. Don't stress yet, because it's probably too early to tell how bad the injury is. If it's really bad, you're going to know straight away. You're going to be in too much pain. If you've broken a leg, or you've torn a muscle, or torn a calf really badly, you're going to be in A&E. You're not going to be watching this video. So if you're watching this video, that means you're probably able to walk, even with a limp, or whatever the injury may be, you're still able to function. So first thing is, take a couple of days. I would suggest don't seek any medical advice or any physio advice for a few days at least. Let it settle down a little bit. Once that's settled down, then you can start to think about what to do next. Realistically, the first thing you're probably going to experience is denial. You've probably just been training for something quite serious, maybe a race or some sort of challenge, some sort of goal you've had in mind, or maybe you just want to run for fun. Either way, you probably won't want to accept that you're injured. You probably want to carry on running. So that's why you need to stop for a few days and allow your body to adjust. Also allow your mind to adjust to the fact that you probably are injured. The next stage is acceptance. Chances are you probably will feel a little bit depressed and angry. This is fine. There's nothing wrong with this. Don't try not to feel like this. Get it out of the system. The main thing is to not take it out on your friends and family. Try and just find ways to vent away from them. It's possible you could have had a race coming up or some sort of event you were training for, and this injury might have put a stop to that. And that's going to make you feel pretty bad, maybe really bad. Don't let this get to you. Accept how you feel and accept that you need to just do what you need to do. Chances are there are many things that could have stopped you from doing this race anyway, not just injury. You could have got ill, which you can't really do much about. COVID could have stopped you. You could have had to have quarantined, and that would have been completely out of your control. There could be family issues, friend issues, work issues, all sorts of things. So realize that being injured is only one of the many things that could have stopped you from doing this. The next thing you want to do, and I would really recommend this, is get some professional help. Pay out to see a physio. Unless it's something that you've done before and you're completely sure what it is, I would say get medical advice. If you get medical advice, you know exactly where you are, you know exactly what you need to do, and you get a rough idea of how long it's going to take to recover. I've actually been suffering with 3 different injuries so far this year. First I had sciatica in winter, then in the spring I tore my calf, and I've just gotten over that, and a week ago I twisted my ankle and I may have torn my ligament. It made a popping sound as I did it, and it was very painful. So I know what it's like. I'm going through quite a hard time at the moment myself. And the first thing I did, once I accepted what's happened, is I changed my focus, and this is what I'd recommend to you. If you have something else to focus on, try and focus on that. If you're like me and you can hyper-focus on things, that will really get your mindset off of the injury. So actually in this instance, and I will say there's a silver lining to every cloud, I used this opportunity of being injured to actually record this video. I've been running about 17 years, and even though every time you get injured it's still bad, I've developed a set of tools that help me deal with that better and more quickly, not just physically, but also mentally. And this is what I'm trying to help you with now, by giving you some ideas on things you could do. So in my case, for the past year or so, I've become a filmmaker and I make films about running. I didn't do that before, so I had different focuses, but either way, whatever your interests are outside of running, if you have any, try to pick up on those and focus on them. If you don't have any interest, then maybe pick up a new interest and focus on that. It can take your mind off of things. I would really recommend that. That will help a lot. The next thing to do is readjust your goals. Whatever age you are, whatever your goals were, wherever you are in life, there's probably going to be more opportunities. There will always be more races. There will always be more events. So as long as you're fit and healthy, there will always be something else that you can train for. So don't worry about missing races, missing events. Those things will happen every year. And maybe your next goal shouldn't be a running based goal. Maybe it could be something different. If your running injury allows you to swim, you could try a swimming goal. If it allows you to cycle, it could be a cycling goal. Or maybe you're not a runner, maybe you are a cyclist and your injury allows you to swim or do something different. So find something you like and focus on that, and that could be your new goal. The next thing I would do is get outside. Even if it's winter, wrap up warm, get outside. If you're lucky and you have beautiful places like this, get out in nature, get out and just listen to the birds. Walk some of your favorite trail runs. If you do trail running like me, which I'd really recommend, get out, walk some of the routes you would run and go slow, take your time, take everything in. Go and explore the little paths that you don't normally run down. See where they go. Go and pay attention to all the things that you normally run past. You might find things that you didn't know existed on your route. And next time you do go out into running, you might enjoy it even more because you know more about the route that you normally run. Even if you don't have beautiful places like this, I'd still recommend getting out wherever you can, the freshest air you can get, even if it means driving for a few miles to get there. Just get yourself out, get some fresh air. That will help you mentally and physically. You're still going to be outside. Even if you can't walk, get out, sit down on a park bench, something like that. The other thing you can try is meditation. You can do walking meditation, sitting meditation. There are hundreds of different types of meditations you can do. Of course, I'm not an expert on meditation, but we're on YouTube, so just search meditation and you're going to find thousands of videos that will give you tips and advice on how to meditate. The main thing is the purpose of your meditation will be to reduce your anxiety and stress and distract you from the fact that you're injured. Now, the other thing I do, which is really important, is go and see your friends or family, whatever you prefer, but go and see people, spend time with people, be around them. Don't just sit on your own and be miserable, because you're just going to make the whole situation worse. I know, I've done it a lot of times before and it doesn't help. Go and see your friends. You'll soon forget about your injury. Whether that's running friends or non-running friends, it will still help. If it's running friends, maybe they might help inspire you to work on your injury and get over it and recover and get better soon. Maybe that won't help, so think what works best for you. But see friends, see family, see people, socialise, interact. Keep yourself busy and distracted. If you can, try and stay fit. You're going to have to do some sort of cross training. And now, of course, it depends on what type of injury you've had. If it's a severe injury, you might not be able to do any cross training. In that case, try and keep mobile if you can. My physio always tells me it's really good and really important to try and keep active. And whatever you have injured, you want to try and keep using that. If it's muscular, you don't want to just rest it completely. You want to keep that moving. You want to keep the circulation going. You want it to build stronger. As it builds back up, it needs to build strong. It can't just build weak and it will break again. See what works for you, but there are obviously a lot of different things you can do. For example, swimming, cycling, rowing, any sort of gym workout that doesn't involve running, I guess. So get some advice, see what works, but try and keep fit. Of course, the second issue with that is motivation. I can run, I have motivation for running, but when it comes to anything else, I do struggle with motivation. So this is where you might need your friend or girlfriend or wife or someone to push you a little bit and try and motivate you to go out and do that. But it will really help you to keep fit, because as soon as your injury is better, if you've kept some sort of base level of fitness, you're going to be back into running really quickly. So try and keep fit if you can. And of course, try and stick to the advice your physio gives you. I know it's hard, but whatever exercises, stretching, diet plan or anything like that they give you, try the best you can to stick to it. Especially the ice and rest one if you can do it, because that will really help. Think about it like this. Every time you do those exercises and those activities the physio gives you, that's taking potentially days off of your recovery time. That's reducing the amount of time you're going to have to wait to get back into running by days, possibly weeks. Plus, it means that if you're looking after your injury and letting it heal really well, when you do get back into running, you're going to be less likely to get injured again. If you don't look after your injury and you don't allow it to heal properly, chances are you could injure it again very quickly after getting back into running. So just be careful with that. However bad the injury seems, it's fixable. So don't give up. You just have to allow it to take as long as it's going to take. It could take a long time. It could be that you're injured for 6 months, maybe the best part of a year. But if you like running or whatever your activity is enough, you're going to want to do it. So stick with it. Don't give up, because you will get there and it will be worth it. It will definitely be worth it. Once you're back to running again, you're going to be so glad. It will feel so good. And the longer you're injured for, the better it's going to feel. When you get back on those trails or on that road and you can move your legs and run, it's going to feel so good. So next, we want to think long term. In the immediate short term, we have a plan to try and recover from this injury. We want to think long term. We want to stop ourselves from getting injured again. So you want to think about what you can do differently next time to reduce the risk of injury. In my case, the 3 injuries I've had this year, the first 2, I could have stopped those. The first was sciatica. I could have done a lot more stretching, less time sitting down, and that probably would have stopped the sciatica altogether. With the second one, the calf tear, a lot of that was down to weakness in the muscles and imbalance, and also trying to do too much too soon. So that was preventable. The third injury I had, the ankle twist, chances are that was unpreventable because it was just purely bad luck. There was a hole in the floor, I didn't see it, and I twisted it. So you can't really avoid that, although you can slightly help. If you have good balance and good strength in those muscles, you've got a better chance of being able to counteract that trip as you were running, and you might have saved it if you were a bit fitter. I have made another video on tips for preventing injury, which I'll put a link to in the description, so check that out if you want to think long term about how to protect yourself. If you found these tips useful, give the video a thumbs up and perhaps consider subscribing. If you are injured at the moment, let me know in the comments below and I'll get back to you. Either way, thanks for watching and I'll hopefully see you again soon. Bye!